Ancient Mysteries of the Silk Road, Secrets and Legacy. Did you know the Silk Road was not just a trade route, but a highway of secrets, where empires rose and fell, where gold turned to dust, and where ghosts of lost cities still whisper in the wind? For over 1,500 years, this 4,000-mile labyrinth of trails connected the east and west, weaving through deserts, mountains, and kingdoms long forgotten. It carried silk, spices, and slaves, but also ideas that changed the world. But beneath its golden facade lay dangers: bandits who'd slit your throat for a bolt of cloth, deserts that swallowed entire armies, and cities where you could vanish without a trace. Tonight, we journey beyond borders, into the heart of the Silk Road's greatest mysteries. Let's begin where it all started, in the shadow of China's terracotta army. The Silk Road wasn't a single road. It was a web of routes stretching from Xi'an, China, to Antioch and Constantinople in the west. Merchants, monks, and mercenaries traveled it, but so did spies, scholars, and storytellers. It began in 138 BC, when Emperor Wu of Han sent an explorer named Zhang Qian westward to forge alliances against nomadic tribes. Zhang Qian returned 13 years later, after being captured, imprisoned, and escaping, with tales of heavenly horses and kingdoms beyond the deserts. His reports sparked China's obsession with the West, and the Silk Road was born. But this wasn't just about silk. The road carried jade, spices, glass, gold, and even religions. Buddhism flowed east, Islam spread west, and Christianity reached China centuries before Europe. Yet the road's true power lay in its cities, oases of wealth and wonder. Let's visit them, starting with the gateway to the east. Cities of the Silk Road. Our journey begins in Xi'an, the capital of the Han and Tang dynasties. Imagine a city surrounded by 40-foot walls, guarded by the silent terracotta army. Xi'an's markets were a sensory overload: silk so fine it could slip through a ring, tea bricks used as currency, and porcelain that glimmered like moonlight. Here, merchants from Persia haggled with Tibetan nomads, while Uyghur traders sold Central Asian horses taller than men. But Xi'an was also a city of spies. The Tang dynasty's secret police monitored foreigners, fearing they'd steal the secret of silk making. Yet the secret leaked anyway. Legend says a Chinese princess smuggled silkworm eggs in her hair to marry a Khotan king. Dunhuang, the desert oasis. Next, we reach Dunhuang, a glittering oasis on the edge of the Taklamakan Desert, a name meaning enter and never return. Dunhuang was the last stop before the desert's horrors. Here, travelers prayed at the Mogao Caves, a labyrinth of 500 temples carved into cliffs. Inside, Buddhist murals glowed with gold and lapis lazuli, depicting heaven's pleasures and hell's torments. But Dunhuang had a darker side. In 1900, a Taoist monk discovered a hidden library in Cave 17, 50,000 manuscripts, including the world's oldest printed book, the Diamond Sutra. Many were sold to Western explorers, sparking accusations of theft. To this day, China calls it the Great Shame. Yet Dunhuang's greatest mystery? The cursed silk. Tales say merchants buried silk in the desert to appease sand demons, and those who stole it vanished, their bones found years later, still clutching the fabric. Samarkand, Uzbekistan, crossroads of the world. Now, we arrive at Samarkand, the Silk Road's beating heart. Founded in the 8th century BC, this city was a melting pot of Persian Zoroastrians, Turkic nomads, and Chinese merchants. Under the 14th century conqueror Timur the Lame, Samarkand became an empire's jewel. His grandson, Ulugh Beg, built an observatory here, mapping stars with precision unmatched for centuries. But Samarkand's soul lies in the Registan Square, where 3 madrasas, Islamic schools, tower like giants. Their blue tiles, etched with quotes from the Quran, shimmer under the sun. In the markets, you'd find Sogdian traders, master linguists and dealmakers, selling Tyrian purple dye from Rome, Indian peacocks, and Afghan lapis lazuli. Yet Samarkand had its demons. Locals whispered of Div Samarkand, a shape-shifting spirit that lured travelers into alleys, never to be seen again. Bokhara, Uzbekistan, city of scholars. Next, Bokhara, a city so holy, Muslims said the light of Islam shines from here. Bokhara was a hub of learning. Its libraries held Aristotle's works, translated into Arabic. The House of Wisdom here rivaled Baghdad's. But it was also a slave market. For centuries, Turkic nomads sold captured Russians and Persians to Arab caliphs. The Kulyan minaret, built in 1127, was dubbed the Tower of Death. Criminals were tossed from its 150-foot height. Yet Bokhara's darkest legend is the Silk Princess. Folktales say a Chinese princess, forced to marry a Bukharan king, wove a message into a rug revealing silkworm secrets. When the king discovered it, she swallowed poison, but her gift of silk lived on. Baghdad, Iraq, the Golden Age. Now, to Baghdad, the Abbasid Caliphate's crown jewel. Founded in 762 AD, its round city had triple walls and gates named Khorasan and Damascus, symbolizing its global reach. In the House of Wisdom, scholars translated Greek, Persian, and Indian texts into Arabic. Here, Al-Khwarizmi invented algebra, and Al-Jaiz wrote about evolution 1,000 years before Darwin. But Baghdad was also a city of spies. In 1001 Nights, Scheherazada's tales of genies and thieves were inspired by Silk Road merchants' campfire stories. Yet in 1258, the Mongols sacked Baghdad, burning the House of Wisdom. Legend says the Tigris River ran black with ink from thrown books, and red with blood. Constantinople, Turkey, the final frontier. At the road's end lies Constantinople, where east met west. Founded by Emperor Constantine, this city was a fortress of gold-capped churches and 20-foot walls. In its great palace, emperors dazzled visitors with mechanical lions that roared in golden trees singing with bird automata. The Hagia Sophia's dome, said to hang from heaven by a chain, symbolized divine power. Here, Chinese silk became Byzantine fashion, while Roman glassware sailed east. But Constantinople's greatest secret? The Greek fire, a napalm-like weapon that burned on water, saving the city from Arab fleets. Its recipe died with the emperors, and remains lost today. Zhang Qian, the explorer who started it all. Every legend needs a hero. For the Silk Road, that hero was Zhang Qian, a Chinese diplomat sent west in 138 BC. Captured by the Xiongnu nomads, he spent 10 years as a prisoner, marrying a Xiongnu wife and learning their ways. When he finally escaped, he didn't return home, he pressed further west, reaching Fergana, modern Uzbekistan. He returned to China with tales of heavenly horses, powerful steeds that sweat blood, likely due to parasites. Emperor Wu craved these horses to fight nomads, and launched wars to control the Silk Road. Zhang Qian's takeaway? The world is far stranger than we imagine. Marco Polo, the merchant of Venice. Then came Marco Polo, the Venetian merchant who spent 24 years on the road. His book, The Travels, claimed he served Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler. He described Xanadu, the summer palace with walls coated in gold and silver, and Hangzhou, a city of 10,000 bridges where men live like kings. Skeptics called him a liar, asking, why no mention of the Great Wall? Tea? Chopsticks? But Polo's details, like the Khan's paper money and asbestos cloth washed in fire, prove he'd been there. His final words on his deathbed? I did not tell half of what I saw. The lost city of Loulan. In the heart of the Taklamakan lies Loulan, a city swallowed by sand. In 1900, explorer Sven Hedin found its ruins, and a mummy dubbed the Loulan Beauty, with European features, 4,000-year-old red hair, and a haunting smile. How did Caucasians reach China millennia ago? The answer: the Tocharians, an Indo-European people who migrated east. Loulan became a Silk Road hub, trading jade and spices. But around 630 AD, it vanished. A sandstorm? Water shortage? No one knows. Locals say Loulan's ghosts still wander the dunes, luring travelers to their doom. The Caves of the Thousand Buddhas. Back in Dunhuang, the Mogao Caves hold another secret. In 1907, British explorer Oral Stein bribed the cave's guardian, Habit Wang, with 130 pounds of silver. In return, he took 24,000 manuscripts, including military reports, prayers, and even a 1,000-year-old divorce letter. "You are a donkey, and I no longer love you." But the cave's greatest treasure? The Diamond Sutra, a 28-foot scroll printed in 868 AD, the world's oldest printed book. Yet hidden in one cave was a Christian text from 635 AD, describing Jesus as the luminous Messiah. How did Christianity reach China before Europe? The Silk Road. Finally, the ghost caravans. In 1993, Kazakh nomads found 400 skeletons in a Tian Shan mountain pass, wearing silk, with arrows in their backs. They were merchants, slaughtered in a snowstorm around 1000 AD. But older tales speak of caravans vanishing entirely. In 1925, a Russian explorer wrote of finding a frozen caravan in the Pamirs, preserved bodies clutching silk, their faces locked in terror. Locals say these ghosts still walk. Hear camel bells at midnight? Run. It's the caravan of the damned, forever searching for a home that no longer exists. The Silk Road was more than a route, it was humanity's first attempt to connect. It gave us paper, gunpowder, and the compass. It spread Buddhism, Islam, and the plague. Today, its cities lie in ruins, but their stories remain. The next time you sip tea or scroll your phone, remember, our world was built by merchants braving sandstorms, scholars preserving knowledge, and explorers who dared to go further. Like this video if you'd ride a camel into the Taklamakan. Share it to keep these stories alive. Subscribe for more journeys into the past. And tell me, which Silk Road city would you visit? Samarkand's blue domes? Dunhuang's caves? Or Loulan, to meet its ghosts? Let me know below, and until next time, keep exploring.